Okay, now having concluded our JavaScript folder by unzipping this and putting our menu in the header, plus downloading our hamburgers, our little icons, let's go to one of the most exciting parts. Let's FTP our directory now, our root theme directory, to our server. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to use a blog I already have set up, and you can use the one that we set up for you. It's called blogs. And so all I went is to my public HTML, found my WordPress install. In my WordPress install, I go to WP content, and in my WP content is my themes directory. That's where WordPress is going to be looking for all themes associated with that WordPress install. So looky, here's my demo down here. Has all my beautiful files in it, including my JS and everything else. So I'm just going to go back, and I am going to find that again because it seems to have disappeared, and drag the whole folder into my WP content / themes. If you put this theme directory anywhere else but in the themes directory, if you move your custom theme to anywhere else but the WP content themes directory, it will not be found. Okay, so here it is. My themes are here. I'm going to go to the dashboard of my site. I'm going to go to appearance and themes, and my theme should now appear, and it does. Okay, and all I have to do is, well, it's activated now, but all I have to do, let me do the one. Okay, demo for specs. You remember when we created our style CSS, at the very top we named our theme demo for specs, and indeed here it is, demo for specs. If I hit theme details, I can see demo for specs version 1. It gets it off of the style CSS. Here's version 1, demo for specs. I see by Gary Farmer, that's over here, and it's just a description, which is here. You can talk about all things cool about your client, but that's where all that shows up on the theme details. So once I get that, I can activate it. And it's going to go through its thing. So now, when my theme is activated, it's going to be in this position here. And then all I have to do is click on the name of my website, and I can see that my site is already there. This is great. It's exactly as I hoped it would be. Now, the footer that you created in Dreamweaver, let's go footer. All this code down here, well, a lot of it anyway, especially this part right here, that code puts this toolbar at the top of your page when you're logged in. So you'll be able to go back to your dashboard and things like that. Now you don't have to have that. In fact, I prefer not to have that. So if I wanted to turn that off, I just go to my dashboard. I can go down to users and your profile. And at this point, I can click on this toolbar, show toolbar when visiting the site. You can turn that off. Oh, and by the way, you can change the color of your interface to whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Anyways, but when you're all done doing that, all you have to do is update profile. And now when you go to your site, you don't see that bar. It's handy when you're editing, but sometimes when you're designing, it's a little bit, it kind of gets in the way because you don't see some of the things you need to see. Alright, so what's this need? Well, it needs some content here. It needs some content going on. So let's go to our tool and go down the next button. Notice that we are going down in a series. You never have to get lost. Just remember what you did last. And now we're going to do some code snippets. And so the first thing under code snippets is loop. So this is what puts the content on your page. So this is the main content. It's going to go into section. Alright, now if you look closely, you will see that there is the title. This code right here is going to go into the database and find whatever the title of the page is that you're looking at and put it there. Notice that you can style outside of that PHP code. So if I wanted to make the font, whatever, I could style it right there. Then here is the code that will put the date of it'll go into the database and put the date of that post. So whenever you created that post, it'll paste the date right there. Then the orange portion is the main content. It's the body of your page. It's all the content of the page. Now I added this. This is a little something that I created. There's this little edit button so that while you're designing and you don't have that bar at the top, you can get to the dashboard by clicking that edit. So this is the main content. I'm going to copy that entire code. Copy. Then I'm going to go to my index.php, which is here. And since it's going to go in my section, I find my section div. I highlight this. And I can, once it's highlighted, I can hit return. And I am going to put a lot of space there, so if something goes wrong, I can find that. And here, my friends, is the loop. Now, remember I said from now on you got to upload these to the server in order to see the effect. So I'm going to save all. I'm going to go to my FileZilla, and the only thing that I have to upload is my index, because that's the only thing that I updated. Okay, to make things simple, I'm just going to click on this always use this action. That way this dialog box won't open up until I open up FileZilla again. Okay, now that my loop is up there, I'm going to go to my page. I'm going to hit refresh and see if my content shows up. And there it is. Now I got this crazy thing. Now let's say I want to get rid of that. I believe I can go to edit. Let me get rid of that graphic. It's funny that it's there. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this. This is my welcome. Just get rid of all that. And I should have prepared this, but that's okay. That's okay. Okay. Now let's go see the welcome. Alright, so I can see that I now have my loop with all my content here. Looks like I did this page a while ago. But the point is that I am at my home page, and here is the content from my home page. Uh-oh, I don't have a nav. Maybe I should put in my nav next. Yes. Well, let's see what's on the tool. Okay, after the loop, comes the sidebars. Let's do that first. Okay, the sidebars are the widget areas. Remember, in functions, we registered some sidebars. We have a left bar, we have a right bar, we have a navigation. So these are our sidebars. If we were to go to our site, we would see that if we did this effectively, and go to widgets, we should see those sidebars ready to receive widgets. Here's the navigation that we have, our left bar. I'm just going to get rid of all this stuff, and the right bar. I'll just get rid of this, and see, you can remove stuff. In fact, when you do this the first time, your nav is probably going to be full of all kinds of crazy things that you don't want there. It's going to make you think that you did something wrong. So as soon as you get here, you can just remove everything that's in the nav. Okay, but that's what those sidebars do. They create these widget areas that all you have to do is drag things in. Now, in order for them to show up on your page, you have to tell WordPress where you want them to show up. So I'm going to go here, Gonna go to my sidebars, and look, this is where this red code is where the things will be on the left. When I drag things into the left, right here, I have to tell WordPress where I want those slid widgets to go. So I'm going to copy this code. Since this is the left, I'm going to go to Dreamweaver, find my left bar right here, content for fluid 3 left bar goes here, and I'm going to paste that in. In other words, whatever I slide into that left widget area is going to show up in my left bar. Okay, so let me go back. Let me go to the tool. This obviously is the right. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back to my index PHP. I'm going to find the right bar, and this right here is where I want the widgets that I slide into that right go. I want those to appear here, and then my navigation. This is going to create the horizontal nav bar. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back to my index PHP. I'm going to find my nav, and I'm going to paste the nav code right here. Boom. Okay. So now this is beginning to take shape. I'm going to save all, and I am going to move my index PHP, which I just edited, over to the server. It will overwrite the index PHP that's there, and let's see. Let's take a look-see. Okay, there's nothing here. There's nothing in the right, there's nothing in the left, and there's no navigation. So let's take care of that. Let's go to the dashboard. First thing you're going to have to do is go down to, and I know this is a little bit involved, go down to menus. I already have a menu created here, but you know what? I'm going to create another one. I'm going to create a new menu. So here are all my pages. I'm going to create a new menu. I'm going to call this menu Demo for Specs. Okay, I will create the menu. And now I can put what pages I want to put on that menu. So I'll put news. Okay, that's what I'll do. So I want to include these 3 pages on my menu. So all I have to do is click Add to Menu. It puts them on the menu. I can drag them around to where I want them to be. Here's my news. If I wanted to add a link up there to a page off of my WordPress, I can hit Custom Links. I can put my site up there. Tumblr.com. I'll put my little who's Tumblr. My little label. I will add that to the menu. It shows up here. Oops, I should probably go change that to a capital T. But as you can see, I can add buttons that aren't even pages to my nav bar. Okay, so once I save my menu, I now have a menu called Demo for Specs. As you can see, I can create multiple menus. You might want one in your footer or on the left bar. So you can create as many custom menus as you want. Now I'm going to go to my widgets. Under Appearance Widgets, and now I can move this custom menu into Navigation, and look, I get to pick the Demo for Specs menu and save. Now because I have that widget area inside my navigation right here, this is my sidebar, it's in my menu nav, in my nav div right up here. I can now go to my site and I will have my menu bar. There it is. So that's good. So now I have my menu. Of course, we have to place it and we have to change the colors, but as you can see, it now is totally functional. It'll go and link to those pages. Let's worry about the styling later, but we can see that it is now functional. And even the Moose Tumblr will take me to my Tumblr site. Okay, so let's go back to the tool. So we put the loop in. We put the sidebars. Well, let's test it for the other sidebars. We go to edit because we don't have that design bar at the top. We go to edit, goes in the back. Let's go to appearance and widgets. And once here, let's see, in the left, let's put our calendar. Okay, and we can put past events. Okay, past posts, let's call it, past posts. Okay, and I can save that. And I think I will drag over maybe, I don't know, let's move over pages, just for fun. So we'll put our pages here, and we'll call this, I don't know, how about contents? Contents. Okay, we save that. We'll put it there. And then in the right bar, let's see, let's put, I don't know, let's put, I guess recent posts. I don't know if there are any. And we'll call this news. Okay, so we can save that. And now that we have our news in our right bar, we have stuff in our left bar, we have our navigation. When we go look, we can see that here's the calendar, here's the contents with the pages, and here's my recent posts. Now, of course, it's still not looking good because we're not dealing with styling right now. What we're dealing with now is simply putting the widgets in the right area. Okay, let's go back to the tool. So we got our right bars in. Our widgets seem to be functioning just fine. Okay, so that's the sidebars. Let's go to the thumb. What the thumb does is it allows your client, when they're creating pages, to create a featured image. Okay, and then the featured image will show up on the page wherever we plan it to show up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this code, which makes the thumbnail work. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go to my Dreamweaver, my index PHP, and I think I want my default image to show up in the right bar, I suppose right above everything else, every other widget. So here I'm going to paste that in. So I want my default thumbnail to show up in the right bar. Okay, so let me save this. I'm going to move it up to the server because I updated the index. Every time I update the file, I have to move it up to the server. And then when we go here and we hit refresh, okay, I have a frog picture here. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, so I can change that default thumbnail by going down here. I'm going to remove the frog. I'm going to set the featured image. Let's see what's in the library. Okay, I'll put this fairy picture. Okay, notice I can put my alt text and things like that. I'm going to set the featured image. I'm going to update. And now when I go to that page, the welcome page, I will see the featured image. But I could put that featured image anywhere on the page. I put it there. It seems to work just fine. And so, if we go back to the tools, we completed the code snippets. We put in the loop, which gives us the content. We put that in the section area. We went to the sidebars, which puts in the widget areas. And then we put in the default thumb, which tells WordPress where to put the featured image. That's what we did.